Hi everyone, and thank you for purchasing the Marquee Shopify section by qwiqode. In this video, I'll be showing you how to actually use it. So if you haven't installed it yet, please refer to the separate video included in the package, which also includes a PDF that you have access to with written instructions. So to get started, head over to your theme editor, navigate to the page you want to add this section to. Over on the left, click on Add Section. You can type to search for it. Okay. So over on the right, we have an extensive list of various settings that you can set up. Here is where you actually put the main text that you want to appear. You can set different sections or basic editing, bold or italicize, and you can also select a link, for instance. Next, we have an option to add an image, some sort of icon, or let's say something like a star or something similar to that. You can choose to show it before or after the text. This is more relevant once we add some more spacing between them, depending on the style that you'd like it to, on the style you'd like to have. If you'd like to add in an SVG icon of your own, then you would head over to, inside the Shopify admin, you'd go to Settings, Files, upload the SVG there, and then you can copy the path, the URL to it, and paste it right in here, and it'll appear directly in its position. You can also add in a button. Once you add in a label and a link, then the button will appear at the end of the text. Now, of course, we have to style this, but you have a button that you can click on. Next, we have text speed. The higher the number, the slower the speed, as you can see. And this is really a play. There's a relationship between the speed, the gap, and the length of the actual text. For instance, if we go back up to the top and we'll choose this is a second sentence. You see the speed does change, as you can see. Now, before we move forward, I'm going to scroll down to font size under content styling right over here. And I'm going to lower the size, reduce the size so it'll be a little bit clearer, like so. Let me go back. So over here we have gap between text. So that means that each block of text, as you can see, they're repeated, so it fills up the entire width of the screen. You can add a gap if you'd like them to be spaced out a little bit. This is obviously just one together, but you see here's the gap. I'll remove this again so it'll be a little bit more clear. As you can see, we can adjust the spacing between each one, like that. And then selecting before text or after text, you can see the difference. Moving on, you can select the background color for the entire section. As you can see, it's cut off right over there, basically section width. And so you can play with this content max width to make it smaller, to make it larger. But it will usually, depending on your theme, be limited by the content width. Like there's usually a set width by the theme where content does not overflow over it. But if you'd like this section to stretch the edges of the browser, simply select full width. And then the content max width is basically irrelevant. Moving on, we have top and bottom margins and top and bottom padding. Margin is the space above and below the section. So if you want to give more space between the preceding section or the one that follows, you can do that. And section padding is the space within. So if you want more breathing room inside the section, you can do something like that. Or if you, let's say, just want more on the top, you can do something like that. We have the same margin and padding settings for mobile version as well. Now, as you remember, we added a link here to the word example. Right now, it's not really visible. You have a choice to choose to have the text underlined or to have it underlined only when you're hovering over. And in addition, you can choose the color of the link, and you can choose the color of the link when you hover. So here we have two things. We have the color and the underline. So if I just choose underline visible, for instance, and I choose that, and then the color changes. And of course, we can change the color of the remaining text. Moving on, we can set a custom font for the entire string of text, or select a different custom font that you have installed via code. You can put in the CSS value for it to import into. You can set a font weight, font size, like I showed you earlier. You choose that, you can do something like that, and letter spacing. Same font size and letter spacing for mobile as well. Next, we have the button styling. So if we want to have different type of button, we can set the font of the button, the weight. You can set the width of the button. This is basically a max width. It really does depend on the amount of text that we have here. You could add a border. As you can see, there's a white border there now. You can give a radius, like so. Vertical padding, a little bit too much. And horizontal padding, which will give a little bit more. So make it wider. And then this max width will limit the maximum. It'll be without, regardless of what the horizontal padding is and the length of the text. Here we can set the font size for the button and the letter spacing as well. And the colors. You can choose a different background color. Let's make it blue. You can change the button of that and the border, of course. Let's make it red just so you can see the difference. When you hover, you can set the hover colors right over there. And that's it. Of course, we can do various things. You can add another marquee immediately afterwards to give an effect and then choose the direction. Let's see. Go in here. I think we missed that in the explanation, but we have a direction here. You can choose to make it go the other way. And then we can use maybe the same styling or something of that nature, just to play around with it and do whatever will fit the look and feel of your site. And that's it. So thank you again. And we hope that this section helps you achieve your website goals. And if you have any questions or problems, please don't hesitate to contact us via the support page on our website.